Hey, welcome back to Drive Check. This is the YouTube channel for the podcast Drive Check, a Card Fight Vanguard podcast. And today, I'm super excited for the Granblue release coming up. And I decided I wanted to go over all the cards in the set for Granblue and kind of give my real quick snapshot thoughts on them. I have a Night Rose deck profile in the works, so you got to stay patient with me. I'm waiting on a few more cards to come in, but I do already have at least one of every card in the set, so I'm gonna flash them out and we're gonna go over them and I'm gonna give my opinions on them. So first things first, let's start out with the cover card herself. Let's do Night Rose. If we can focus, there we go. Night Rose has very pretty art. She looks really good in person. And if I were to take the sleeve off, you can kind of see the foiling pattern kind of goes around like that. And it's really cool. Oops. Oh no! Hey. Messing up already. Alright, so her skill is... Her first one is, when your rear guard attacks or boosts, that unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of the battle, and retire the unit at the end of the battle. So it's a play on hollow. So her old keyword, or Granblue's old keyword in the G era was, when you call a unit, you may choose to hollow it, and then if you do hollow it, it gets a really cool effect, but at the end of the turn, it is retired due to hollow. So it's a nice nod to that, and that extra 5k really adds up. It makes some serious numbers, so it's a very simple ability, but I think it comes into play more often than not. Her second ability is, when it attacks, you can counterblast 1. Choose a column, call up to 2 cards from your drop zone to that column, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 10k until the end of that battle. So there's a lot of mid-battle combos that you can do with her, and I'll go over it more in the deck profile for her when that actually comes out. But there's so much you can do. Like the deck went from very linear to oh crap, there's a lot of different options. It's almost toolboxy like it was in G era, but not quite yet. But so that's Night Rose right here. Oh, that glare is wicked. Let's put her up there so she can still see. Alright, the next card is easily the best card in this entire set. It is going to be a staple in every Granblue set moving forward. I think it's even more important than Greed Shade, if we're being honest. Let's focus in a little bit more. Come on. Come on, focus. Focus. Alright, well this is Pirate Swordsman Columbard. Let me read its ability. All this hopefully focuses. Vanguard Rearguard, 1 place, you can counterblast 1. Search your deck for up to 1 card, put it into the drop zone, shuffle your deck, call up to 1 card from your drop zone to Rearguard Circle. This ability may only be used by a card of the same name once per turn. So it's a hard once per turn. Also, whatever you search your deck for, you do not have to call. You can call something completely different, which I think that right there is insane. It also doesn't specify that it has to be placed from the drop zone, so it's fantastic. You can just straight up call it from your hand. You can write it and do it as well. So it's filtering, but it's specific filtering. And like there's literally no downside. Like it kind of sucks that you can't do once per turn, but you just save it for Night Rose. So when Night Rose attacks, and then you call this from the drop zone, and then you can get a whole other column. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with that. So that is easily the best card in the set. And another really good card that's only a rare is going to be Witch Doctor of Powdered Bone Negrobone. And their ability is act in the drop zone, discard a card from hand, put this card on the bottom of your deck, call a grade 1 card from your drop zone to Rearguard Circle. If your drop zone has 10 or more cards, you may call any grade instead. So what's really good about this is it's not limited once per turn. So I can have multiple Negrobones in my drop zone. As long as I have the cards in my hand, I can discard him, and then I can call pretty much an entire field, or whatever I couldn't call before, in order to make it more threatening, so that when Night Rose attacks, I can call a whole new board. Like This card is nuts, and probably one of the best rares I think I've ever seen, like original printing rares, especially in Granblue. Like, I don't have a better rare than that. That's just fantastic. There's so many things I could do. Like it opens up so many different things. Another really good card is Skeleton Sea Navigator. Let's see if we can focus a little bit there. There we go. And his ability is super simple. So you rest your rear guards, and you put 5 cards from your deck into the drop zone. So I rest him and another unit, mill 5, boom. My drop zone's pretty much set up after that. And then I can, if I'm missing a piece, just Columbard the next piece out, and then we're good to go. This card's really good. I know in Japan, they were not playing this when Night Rose first came out. I don't know why. Everyone in the States pretty much came to the same agreement that Skeleton Sea Navigator kind of, I don't want to say made the deck, but it honestly, it sped it up so quickly. And realistically, you only have to do it once or twice, and then your drop zone set up. Because this deck, unlike previous Granblue decks, does not care necessarily how many cards are in your drop zone. It's just the quality. Sure, Negrabone does care about 10 or more cards, blah blah blah. But I have some grade ones that we can call that are pretty solid, even with just his ability. So it's not that big of a deal if I don't have 10 cards in my drop zone. So yeah, this card's also really, really solid. I think you only play it in standard Night Rose though. That's the thing. Because premium, I have Obadiah, and I can search for those 5 cards. Selective mill those 5 cards from my deck, so it's just a little bit better. Actually, it's a lot better. And then we have Thin Mist Banshee. Let's see if we can focus it a little bit. All right, I'll read it while it's focusing. She's grade 2. One placed by your card's ability, this unit gets plus 10 until end of turn. And then she also has one retired from rear guard by your card's ability, draw a card. This ability may only be used by a card with the same name once per turn. So, she's okay. You know, like, I don't hate her, but I think the Foreboding Ghost Ship is better personally. Yeah, so I know I've seen a lot of lists that tech her as like a 1 or 2 of, but I'd rather just play more Ghost Ships. I think the drawbacks from Ghost Ship, which, while, semi-significant, it's better than just being limited once per turn, in my opinion, and that I get more power, and I just think Ghost Ship is overall better, but she's definitely an option. Personally, I'm not playing it, but you'll find out when I do that deck profile. Another really good card, in my opinion, is Witch Doctor Vlangor Negrolazy. So he was real good in G. Not so good in V. His ability is Auto Vanguard or Rearguard. When placed, call a grade 0 specifically from your drop zone to Rearguard circle. So in V, there's not a lot of different options that you can call. But we'll get to one in 7Cs that this is actually pretty good with. And in my deck profile, I like Chappie the Ghosty. I know, Chappie the Ghosty. That one, I think it was in the first wave that everyone kind of looked over. But I think he pairs really well with Negrolazy. But also, I think Negrolazy could do some work in the vanilla premium deck. I haven't really messed with that, so I don't know yet. But just being able to call a free 0 when I have 4 Cyclone face up seems pretty good. That's a 25k booster. So we'll see. But he exists. I think he's okay. Alright, and then we have a card that I don't think anyone playing Night Rose should run, and it's such a crime. But it's Tommy the Ghosty Brothers. Look at that art. Oh. Come on, focus in on me. There we go. That art is so good. It looks so cool, but unfortunately, there's no space. Also, just being a 13k booster is not necessarily what we want. Actually, it would be 18. But I think just sacrificing it for Skeleton Sea Navigator really opens up all your other cards. Plus, I don't necessarily need to find a grade 3 because I have Columbard, who, if I don't have a grade 3 in my hand, I can play Columbard, mill, grab a Night Rose from my deck, and then I can straight up play Greed Shade, and I can, discard a card, mill another 2, and then grab Night Rose back to my hand. So I almost always have a ride. So, while this card's super cool, its extra ability to get 5,000s if you have 5 or more in your drop zone. So it's okay, but I don't think we play this, unfortunately. I don't think any Granblue deck is going to play this, which is such a waste of really good art, unfortunately. Okay, so that's Night Rose. Let me actually make some room here. So the next kind of group of cards I want to talk about is going to be the 7 Seas. So 7 Seas, man, that mist looks so cool. 7 Seas kind of changed a lot. Come on, focus in, come on. Focus. Alright, anyway, so their whole gimmick now is getting treasure tokens, which I unfortunately did not grab ahead of time because I'm a fool, but there we go. Getting these treasure tokens. So the treasure tokens, you kind of, when an attack hits, here, I'll just read the first ability that all 7 Seas have. When its attack hits on the Vanguard or Rearguard circle, choose one of your Vanguard or Rearguard without any treasure markers and put a treasure marker. So, this is not a treasure token. This is specifically a marker. So it's a lot like imaginary gift markers. So it stays on the field unless you have that dumb Link Joker Stride from that premium collection. So it'll stay there. And then you kind of just play it like that. And so, as long as it's there, you get the effects that 7 Seas want. So, Night Mist specifically continues on the Vanguard circle. You get all of the effects below according to the number of your treasure markers. 1 or more, all of your rearguards with 7 Seas in the card name can attack and intercept from the back row. 3 or more, during your turn, all of your units with 7 Seas in their card name get power plus 5,000. 6 or more, this unit gets auto on the Vanguard circle. At the end of the battle it attacked, stand all of your rearguards with 7 Seas in their card name. Yeah, okay. So, basically, I just want to flood my board with treasures. And I get them by attacking your opponent's rearguards, basically. So, the plan is to damage deny them as much as possible, and then just accumulate your treasures. If your opponent's wise, they'll probably try and guard as much as possible, which that just means that they're losing cards from their hand. So it's a bit of a I don't know, it's weird tempo. So I want to rush sometimes, and I also want to kind of control what my opponent's doing. So that Night Mist is really cool, but the key card right here is going to be 7 Seas Master Swordsman / Shade. Also, the 7 Seas is the budget option, and it's a really solid budget option. Very fun. Auto and Vanguard or Rearguard. When its attack hits, choose one of your Vanguard or Rearguard without any treasure markers and put a treasure marker on. That's right, I forgot. All 7 Seas have that same ability. So whenever a 7 Seas hits, they get a treasure marker. But we're really here for his second ability. It's continuous on the Rearguard. During your turn, if there is a marker, specifically a marker, on this unit's circle, this unit gets plus 15k. So it becomes a 24k beater. And this also would include Protect. So if you're on Protect 2 and you have this, then he gets that 15k. He doesn't actually need to have a treasure marker on. He'd actually get 20k because Protect 2 gives an extra 5k. So it would be 29 instead. So he is how you're going to get most of your tokens. So you'll generally have them in the back. So you have your Night Mist here, and you'll have your Slash Shades in the back row. Because as long as you have 1 treasure token, all of your cards in the back row can attack. And I'm sure not going to intercept with them. So it's nice to keep them safe in the back. So we keep them back there. So yeah. He's real sweet. So, hey, you probably noticed there's no way to call cards from the drop zone, but this is Granblue. Why is that? Well, here is 7 Seas Pillager Night Spinel. She has the same 7 Seas ability, where on hit, get a treasure marker, but also has auto on Vanguard or Rearguard. When placed, you can counter +1, mill 2, and call up to one card with 7 Seas in its card name, not named 7 Seas Pillager Night Spinel, from a drop zone to Rearguard circle. So, if, oops, shoot. If there's anything that you don't have on your field that you need, just throw her down, boom, and you can get it. So she's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. There's no real, like, combo to be had, I don't think. Let's just go real quick. Yeah, there's no real combo. Everything else is an act ability or continuous, so she just helps you find your pieces. I think she might be more important in the premium version, but I haven't even messed with that because 7 Seas are an enigma to me in premium. And like in G, I never actually played them. I'm just learning what 7 Seas Rush does because I wanted to play Night Rose back in the day, so I missed out on 7 Seas Rush. So I'm learning how awful that deck is, but this is a little bit different. Alright, so we'll have 7 Seas Helmsman Nightcrow. The on hit, get a treasure. All the 7 Seas art, by the way, look awesome. They all look super good. Act in the drop zone. There we go. If you have a Vanguard with 7 Seas in its card name, you can soul +1, retire Rearguard, not named 7 Seas Helmsman Nightcrow, and call this card to Rearguard circle. So, boom, I can just call another booster for Soul Blast and retire a rested. Well, I don't retire a rested. I will retire a unit that I'm not going to be using to call it out. That's pretty good. It ain't bad. Okay. So that's there. And then we have Witch Doctor of the 7 Seas Rise Tutor. Also, like I said before, fantastic art. Same on hit, get a treasure. Continuous. If there's a marker in this unit circle, this unit gets intercept. Oh, so like Protect 2? So Protect 2 then? So it becomes a 20k interceptor. It can intercept from the back row thanks to Night Mist. Also, if it has a treasure token, that will work too. So this card is your defensive option. Oops. It's really solid in that department right there. Really good. And then we have 7 Seas Apprentice Night Runner, which I kind of thought would be a starter, but it's not. It's a grade 0 that you put in your main deck. Has the same on hit, get a treasure token, act on the rearguard circle, bind this unit, and put 2 cards from the top of your deck in your drop zone. So you bind him and then mill 2. And return a card with 7 Seas in its card name, not named 7 Seas Apprentice Night Runner, from your drop zone to your hand. So that is how I get a Night Spinel back. So I'll bind him and mill 2. I'll get Night Spinel back, and I can play Night Spinel, and I can call anything else that I need. So that's really neat. That is kind of like my recurring engine. Also, this deck doesn't necessarily mill a lot, and don't really care about how big my drop zone is. So it's all about the quality of cards in here. So I highly recommend that you're playing Columbard with this, so I can specifically get my Slash Shades out early. I can get Rice Tutors, Night Crows. I can get whatever piece I need out early. So he's an honorary member in this as well. Also, Negrobone as well, because if Negrobone is just milled or I guard with it early, I can add it back to my deck, discard a card from hand, and I can call anything on my drop zone back. So I can call another Night Spinel, and I can keep that, get another thing out as well. So I highly recommend playing Columbard and Negrobone. So those two are also included. And that is it for the 7 Seas. Boom. Yeah, I would not play Tommy in this because I don't necessarily care about getting Night Mist out as soon as possible. Or if I do, I have other cards that I can get it with. So it's not that big of a deal to me. Alright, we're going to go through the triggers real quick. So this is Rampage Shade. It's the Crit Sentinel for Granblue. That art is very busy. It's kind of hard to see what's going on, but she's got a cannon with a shield on it. Basically, that's what's happening. Really good card. I like this in Granblue. I'll go over my ratios when I do the deck profile, but I think this card's very good. But I also think that Gustin is very good as well. Spoiler alert, I run both of them. Okay. So there's that. And then also the new heal trigger, which looks phenomenal. I didn't like her G art that much, but this just, it looks so good. So Good Luck Charm Banshee is definitely going in my deck. Pretty much all of my decks, I think. And then we have Gunner Francette. This is a brand new draw trigger. Brand new unit as well. And if we can focus in a little bit more. Come on, dude. Anyway, I want to show off his art so bad because I love all the ghosties on it. They all look really good. And I love this draw trigger. If I played normal draw triggers, I would play this one hands down. But I don't. Also in this set, we get a couple... Well, actually, let's move to our starter in the set, which is Grenache. So he gets a little bit of... I don't want to say a retool. But he gets like the normal like starter ability everyone else has. Oh my goodness. Undying Departed Grenache. Boom. His art looks good. Yeah, so there's that. And then we have a couple of reprints. So, yeah, I have SPs. My standard deck is going to be max rarity. I'm just missing one Night Rose, which I'm probably ordering tomorrow. But yeah, so there's an SP of Gustin in the SP packs. Looks really good. And then also, for the third time, we've reprinted Mortal Mimic. I don't know why. I don't like this art at all. I'd rather have, much rather have Ruffsy's Banshee back. But Mortal Mimic for the third time. So there's that. Okay, there's the triggers out of the way. And now we'll move on to the other cards in the set that didn't really have a home, but I think are worth talking about. Let's start with Skeleton Pirate Skipper. This card I think is really good as a budget option, or in a limited fight, because once per turn you act on the Vanguard Circle, you can kind of spawn mill 2, and then you can call up to one card from your drop zone to Vanguard Circle, and that unit and this unit get plus 10,000 until end of turn. This card's really solid. Like, for a counterblast, I get to mill 2, which is kind of hard and limited, because I don't have a ton of mill options, but I guess now I have a Skeleton Sea Navigator where I can straight up mill 5. So that's really good. But, yeah, I get to call another unit, which I think this is the first, besides Negrobone, first low rarity way to call another unit. A different unit, because Skeleton Bomber can call himself. Off the top of my head, I think this is it. And it gives them power as well. This card's really good. It's a really good limited option. Move him over there, because we like him. Alright, and then we have Cyril the Ghosty. So it's a new Ghosty. His ability is Rear Guard Circle. If your drop zone has 15 more cards, this unit gets plus 10,000 power and plus 10,000 shield. So it's a grade 1 version of Chappie the Ghosty. Except it's a little bit more of a condition. The V series Chappie the Ghosty, which you just have to have 10 or more, and then he gets 10 and 10. So, the card's really cool. I don't think it's going to see play. Might see it in limited, but doubt it. And then we have a vanilla, which is Night Rendering Zombie. Has a different name in Japan. It's like Night Playing Zombie. I think, oh my goodness, this camera. This is my good camera too. Night Rendering Zombie. Art's pretty cool. Might see play in the vanilla deck, but I don't know. I kind of want to keep my shield in that because I don't do a lot, and I'd rather have shield. So, but also, here's an awful card that should not be played, and it's a real shame because that art is super cool. He's smacking down an Aquaforce, dude. This is Racking Frankini. Auto on rearguard, one place from your drop zone. Counterblast 2, and this unit gets plus 25,000 power until end of turn. Counterblast 2? No thank you. Yeah, we have countercharge options, but Counterblast 2 to get 25k, which makes him a 34k. Nope, no thanks. I can do that for free with 2 cards, and it doesn't cost a Counterblast. I think he's out, man. Not a good card. What is a good card, though, is Forebode Ghost Ship. And this is a common right here. And I was originally trying to play it in Night Rose, but I just couldn't. It never came up as the optimal play. So if we can, focus in a little bit. Right, well, let's see what I'm going to read. Drop Zone. Activated ability in the drop zone. Discard a card from your hand. Call this card to rearguard circle, and if your drop zone has 10 or more cards, this unit gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So it's literally just discard a card and call a 22k beater. So this card is really good. I think it's also a really good limited option. Oh, by the way, Skipper has a protect gift. So that card's just nuts. So much value. Skeleton also, or not Skeleton, sorry. Forebode Ghost Ship also has a protect gift. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But yeah, like discard 1, not a problem because I run the Ghost Ships, Forebode Ghost Ship, and whatnot. I could just discard that or any key piece that I needed in my discard in my drop zone in order to call them out. So that was the idea, but I'd rather just have Skull Dragons and Night Rose in my standard deck. Okay, so here is another card that I'm iffy on. I'm very iffy on, Parliament Shade. So another really good art. But their ability is auto on the Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, you can Soul Blast 3 grade 3s. Retire all of your opponent's rearguards, and if your drop zone has 15 or more cards, you can call 5 cards from your drop zone to the rearguard circle, and then all of your units get plus 10k until end of turn. So the thing I don't like about this is it's Vanguard only, which means I have to write it, which that kind of sucks. Also, doesn't give a gift, which also really sucks. But you know who didn't give a gift? Shoot, what's his name? Is the Frankenstein from the first set. Shucks. What was his name? Anyway, the one that the guard restricts, so I can discard however, like, whatever grades I want, and my opponent can't use that or Sentinels. It was that. That was a better finisher, really good finisher. This one, I don't think is that good. Like retiring all of your opponent's rearguards and calling a full field is really cool and really good, but Soul Blasting 3 grade 3s is a little rough to do. Not impossible. Not impossible, but it's tough. And I would have to rewrite multiple times, which I could do with oh my god. It was also in the first wave. It was a card that I can counterblast 2, and I can either call it from the drop zone or I can superior write it, but he had a gift there. So I could do that a couple times, and that could work, and I could throw this down. But I don't think that's the payoff is there, though, which is such a shame, because like I said, really cool art, but I just don't think it's there. So, oops. So yeah, this set is so good for Granblue, especially with Columbard and with Night Rose, and 7C stuff is really good too. And then you also have Negrobo. Like, there's so many really good cards in this set, and I'm just incredibly excited, but a little frustrated that there's so many good things out, and I have to pick and choose what to play right now. Also, my second favorite clan is Dark Irregulars, and Dark Irregulars got some good stuff in this set too. So my wallet's a little tight at the moment because of it, but there's a lot of really cool stuff in this entire set for all 4 clans. So Butterfly to Moonlight, I think, is a home run of a set, and I can't wait to play this and just to show all the cool things that Night Rose can do, and I've got some cool premium deck builds in mind. So without further ado, I'm going to skedaddle so I can edit this down a little bit and put this up hopefully Friday when the set releases. So I'll see you guys later.